Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now April 14th of 2021, and ever since the very end of The Mandalorian Season 2, a lot of fans around the world have been very much curious about what both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have in store and up their sleeve when it comes to Star Wars. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy, we're all on the same page about this for the most part, is that she has been nothing more than a force of destruction when it came to The Last Jedi, Solo, and of course, the new Star Wars trilogy that was being created by the writers of Game of Thrones that also was wrecked by Kathleen Kennedy. And let's not forget The Rise of Skywalker. She was the one directly responsible for not only changing the ending of the movie numerous times, but also deleting so many scenes from the movie and not even allowing it to make its way onto the Blu-ray edition of Episode 9. Hence why you do not see any real deleted scenes on the Blu-ray or disc of Star Wars Episode 9. So, when we look at everything related to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, alright, these two are passionate Star Wars fans. They know exactly how the fandom thinks. They know exactly what the fans want to see either on the big screen or at home on a streaming service. And that's exactly what they provided in The Mandalorian Season 2. Let's not forget that Mandalorian Season 2 was a big success because Jon Favreau had 100% creative control. With Season 1, Kathleen Kennedy had some kind of an input on a creative scale. You know, ever since the beginning of 2020, that all ended. And that's when production was still going on for Mandalorian Season 2 at the time. So looking past all of this, what's really intriguing all has to do with Kathleen Kennedy and what's been going on behind the scenes when it comes to Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano. Now, Ahsoka Tano is about to get her own TV series by Dave Filoni and Jon. They're going to begin filming this summer. Now, with that being said, of course, now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on their new Star Wars projects, such as Star Wars Ahsoka and Kenobi, both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are hard at work on the Mandalorian series in the meantime. It's explained, however, that Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy has been very angry behind the scenes, given that so many fans are against her right now after the Gina Carano situation. However, Kathleen Kennedy is said to have a plan to fire actress Rosario Dawson from the Ahsoka Tano series, given that Kathleen Kennedy was not impressed with her performance in the Mandalorian series and originally wanted Brie Larson for the role 1 year ago. Now, further, it's described that Kathleen Kennedy's plan to fire Rosario Dawson is by presenting a better replacement of course, an actress to Rosario Dawson to the higher-ups over at Disney to prove her point, to show them exactly how they could have done a far better job than Rosario. Disney CEO Bob Chapek is said to have loved Rosario's performance as Ahsoka so far, and is gearing up for her to begin filming for the Ahsoka series in the coming months. It's noted that Kathleen Kennedy holds problems with Rosario Dawson based on the past controversy, we've talked about this before by the way, and how it gave Lucasfilm a bad image even further, and that Kennedy wants to actually find someone better suited for the role. However, Kennedy is described to have turned down Ashley around 1 year ago when she begged Kennedy to give her the role. Given that Kennedy had no creative power at this point in time, this request is likely to go nowhere in Kennedy's favor for Rosario to get fired from the Mandalorian series overall. Now, here's the thing that really is very ugly about Kathleen Kennedy. Now, Kathleen Kennedy actually refused to allow Ashley to step in for the role of Ahsoka Tano. I always said for the longest time that Ashley should have really been the true Ahsoka Tano in live-action form. She's the one who voiced her in Star Wars Rebels and Star Wars The Clone Wars. Why not have her in live-action form? It would have worked perfectly. Now, obviously, some fans out there would disagree, and that's fine. Some fans would say that she looks nothing like Ahsoka Tano, even with the makeup on. But there are moments in which she actually did suit up as Ahsoka Tano for fun, and if you guys go ahead and look that up, she actually really could have done the job, in my book. She really could have done the job perfectly. That's just my 2 cents. So here's the thing about Kathleen Kennedy now. The fact that she's going this far to try and convince Disney to fire Rosario Dawson, and we also talked about this too, that there's a lot of Lucasfilm employees calling for Rosario to get fired from not only The Mandalorian Season 3 and 4, but also from the Ahsoka Tano show. And that is all based on that past controversy that we talked about that is pretty much dead. You know, it's no longer relevant. They're still really clinging on to that thing that really ended up being so insignificant. So, Rosario Dawson, very talented actress. I think that she nailed it as Ahsoka Tano. You can't really get any better than what Rosario gave to the fans, in my opinion. Sure, it would be nice to see Ashley step in for the role and to have had her as Ahsoka from the start, but Rosario really did a perfect job. You know, we do know that Rosario studied Ahsoka in the animated series. She also had a lot of discussions with Ashley about the character to really get in the character's mindset. And that, to me, I think really helped her role overall in Chapter 13. The other thing is this, is that Kathleen Kennedy is pretty much relentless when it comes to trying to fire somebody. Obviously, this is not going to go in Kathleen Kennedy's favor, hence why I'm not worried in the slightest of Rosario Dawson getting fired. At least I hope that she doesn't, but it's very unlikely to happen. You know, you can only imagine the type of backlash. Could you imagine this? If Rosario Dawson ended up getting let go in a similar fashion to Gina Carano, where pretty much he's gonna, get let go through social media and that crazy side of the story. Imagine if that happened also with Rosario Dawson. What would the backlash be like? It would be massive, if not bigger, than what happened with The Last Jedi. In fact, the backlash about Gina Carano's firing, I believe, was even bigger than The Last Jedi's backlash. Now, given that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, they are very determined, they are very much engaged with their work, they're moving along very well with the rewrites of Mandalorian Season 3 as we speak, so they're really doing an excellent job so far. I'm very proud of them to see exactly, what that's going to look like in either, early or mid-2023. They're looking at that year for Mandalorian Season 3 if they can't get things done on time. If they can get things done on time, they are looking at a 2022, late 22 release. So we'll have to wait and see exactly where that goes. Overall, I think that Jon and Dave, they're going to succeed with this new universe because Kathleen Kennedy has no creative power over these shows. Only Star Wars The Acolyte, which, by the way, is going to be a failure in my opinion because it's mostly agenda driven, and number two, it's based within the High Republic era. A very, hated Star Wars timeline so far. A lot of the fans are against it. They don't like the High Republic era for multiple and valid reasons. We've gone over this. And obviously, Kathleen Kennedy just does not care. This is coming from a person that even said that Star Wars Legends basically does not exist. She herself said that there is no source material to draw from, to actually transfer anything from into the new stories. Pretty much just trying to create this reality or this narrative that there is no Star Wars Legends, that there was no old expanded universe at all whatsoever. So, like I said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.